All right, welcome back for another deep dive with us. Today we're going to be talking about something pretty wild. We're going underwater, but not just any underwater. We're talking about oceans that are potentially hidden underneath the ice shells of Jupiter and Saturn's moons.
Sounds pretty chilly.
Yeah, a little bit. And get this, NASA is planning on exploring these oceans with, get this, tiny robots.
Really?
Yeah, like swarms of little robots, each about the size of a cell phone, swimming through alien seas. We've got two really cool articles here, one from Hans India and another from publication name redacted from source material, both about NASA's SWIM project.
Swim.
Yeah, SWIM. And let me tell you, after reading these, I am so excited about the possibilities.
Yeah, it's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it. I mean, sending a rover to roll around on a surface, that's one thing.
Right.
But this is like going under the ice into a completely alien environment. It's like a whole new frontier of space exploration.
Exactly. But before we get ahead of ourselves, can you break down exactly what these SWIM robots are and what they're capable of?
SWIM stands for Sensing with Independent Microswimmers.
Okay.
And each robot is about 16.5 inches tall and weighs a little over 2 kilograms.
So that's like, what about the size of like a small laptop?
Yeah, maybe like a really bulky cell phone.
Okay.
And these robots are designed to be completely self-propelled, so they can navigate these potentially vast and unexplored oceans.
That's so cool.
The idea is they'll be able to collect data about the ocean's composition, temperature, and even search for signs of life.
Okay, so that makes sense. But how would something that small transmit data back, especially from under an ice sheet?
Well, that's where the independent part of their name comes in. They're designed to operate pretty much on their own, autonomously, but they're not completely alone. They would be deployed from a larger spacecraft, like the Europa Clipper, for example. So it's kind of like a mothership, releasing a swarm of these tiny explorers.
Oh, wow.
And the robots, they gather data. And then periodically they return to the larger craft to transmit their findings.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like a relay system. But instead of runners passing a baton, it's these tiny robots carrying data from an alien ocean.
Yes, a very futuristic relay system.
Oh, I love that.
And the data they could collect. I mean, that's what makes this so exciting.
Yeah.
We're talking about potentially uncovering secrets about these moons that we would never know without them.
That's what really got me in these articles, too. It's like the sheer potential. It's astounding, but why focus on these moons in the first place?
Well, moons like Europa and Enceladus, they're especially interesting because there's growing evidence that they have these vast oceans beneath their icy surfaces.
Oh, wow.
And these aren't just any oceans. Scientists believe they might contain the necessary ingredients for life.
What kind of ingredients?
Things like water, obviously, sources of energy, and the right chemical building blocks.
Oh, wow. So we're talking about the potential for life beyond Earth, hidden beneath the ice of these moons.
Exactly. But life doesn't necessarily mean little green men here.
Right.
More likely, we're talking about microbial life. Maybe something similar to what we call extremophiles, which are found in the most extreme environments here on Earth.
Extremophiles? What are those?
Basically, they're organisms that thrive in conditions that would be lethal to most other life forms.
Oh, wow.
Like, think of boiling hot springs, highly acidic environments, or even like the crushing depths of the ocean.
Oh, okay.
Finding evidence of similar life forms on these moons, I mean, that would be a major breakthrough in our understanding of where and how life can exist.
That's incredible. So these robots are being sent to search for, like, alien extremophiles. It feels like science fiction is becoming reality.
It does, doesn't it? And what's even more exciting is these robots could be instrumental in several upcoming missions.
Oh, you're talking about the missions mentioned in the articles, the ones heading to Jupiter and Saturn's moons.
Exactly. So the European Space Agency, they've got this GEO-IC mission, which stands for Jupiter Icy Moons Explorer. And it actually launched earlier this year, in April. And it's already on its way to study Europa, Callisto, and Ganymede.
Wow.
And then there's NASA's Europa Clipper mission. That one's set to launch soon. And we'll be focusing specifically on Europa.
So we're looking at like the early 2030s for these missions to actually reach their destinations and start sending back data.
Yeah.
It seems so far away, but in the grand scheme of space travel, that's really not that long.
Not at all, no.
And we can't forget about NASA's Dragonfly mission, which is aiming to explore Titan, which is a moon of Saturn. And scientists believe Titan might also have a subsurface ocean.
That's right.
So many missions, all focused on these icy moons. It seems like there's a flurry of activity and interest in these places right now. It feels like we're on the cusp of some truly groundbreaking discoveries. But with all these different missions planned, where exactly do the swim robots fit in?
That's a great question. And it brings us to the real innovation behind this whole swim project. So picture this. The Europa Clipper, it arrives at Europa. From orbit, it can study the surface, gather valuable data about the moon's composition and structure. But to truly understand that hidden ocean, we need to get below the ice.
And that's where the swim robots come in.
Precisely. They would be deployed from the larger spacecraft to explore areas that would be impossible for a craft the size of Europa Clipper to reach.
It's like sending in a team of specialized divers to explore the deepest parts of the ocean.
Exactly. These robots, with their small size and maneuverability, could potentially navigate complex underwater environments, maybe even squeeze through cracks in the ice to access areas we never thought possible.
Oh, wow. And that's just on Europa. Imagine the possibilities on other moons with subsurface oceans.
It opens up a whole new realm of exploration. And by using these swarms of smaller robots, we can potentially gather a vast amount of data much more efficiently than relying on a single large probe. It's a really brilliant strategy for maximizing the scientific return of these ambitious missions.
So in a nutshell, these swim robots are our best bet for getting a close-up look at these hidden oceans and potentially finding evidence of life. It all sounds amazing, but I have to imagine there are some serious challenges involved in developing and deploying this kind of technology, right?
Of course, of course. I mean, we're talking about sending robots to incredibly extreme environments.
Yeah.
Intense cold, immense pressure, the potential for, unknown hazards. I mean, these robots need to be incredibly robust and reliable to operate autonomously in such a demanding and remote environment.
Yeah, and what about the communication aspect? Like sending and receiving data from these tiny robots, swimming in an alien ocean, under a layer of ice, that just seems like a monumental challenge.
You're absolutely right. Developing sophisticated communication and navigation systems. For these robots to operate independently in those conditions, it's a major hurdle. But the potential rewards are worth the effort. Just imagine the data these robots could gather, information about the ocean's composition, its currents, its temperature, and ultimately its habitability.
And the ultimate goal, finding evidence of life beyond Earth.
That's certainly the most captivating prospect. But even if we don't find definitive proof of life, the data these missions gather will be invaluable. It will revolutionize our understanding of these moons, of our solar system, and perhaps even of the potential for life in other parts of the universe.
That's what makes this so exciting. It's not just about finding aliens, it's about expanding our knowledge of the universe and our place in it.
Exactly. It's about pushing the boundaries of what we know and what's possible. It really is a quest that requires some serious ingenuity. When you think about the technological leaps needed to make all this happen, we're talking about robotics, communication systems, data analysis. It's all being pushed to the absolute limits.
That's a great point. Designing robots that can not only survive, but also function in such extreme environments. I mean, that must be incredibly complex. What kind of technological hurdles do the engineers have to overcome?
Well, let's take the pressure, for example. Those oceans are likely under immense pressure, far greater than anything we experience here on Earth. So the robots need to be built to withstand that crushing force without collapsing.
Wow. I can't even imagine. It's like building a submarine the size of a cell phone.
That's a fantastic analogy. And then there's the issue of power. How do you keep these robots running in a place where sunlight can't reach?
That's true. They can't exactly recharge with solar panels down there. So how do they power these things?
Well, that's one of the big challenges the swim team is working on right now. They're exploring several options, including long-lasting batteries and potentially even harnessing energy from the environment itself. Maybe using temperature differentials in the ocean.
That's fascinating. So they might be able to use the very environment they're exploring to keep themselves running. It's like something straight out of a science fiction novel.
It does have that futuristic feel, doesn't it? But it really speaks to the ingenuity and creativity of the engineers working on this project.
Absolutely. And it's not just the robots themselves, it's the entire system. You mentioned navigation and communication earlier. How do these robots find their way around in a completely dark and unfamiliar environment?
That's another area where they're pushing the boundaries of technology. They're developing really advanced sensor systems, potentially using sonar or even a form of underwater GPS to allow the robots to map their surroundings and navigate effectively.
So they're basically creating a 3D map of the ocean as they explore it.
Exactly. And for communication, they're working on systems that can transmit data through the ice.
Hmm.
And back to that larger spacecraft, this could involve acoustic signals, or perhaps even using the ice itself as a conduit for communication.
That's mind-boggling. We struggle to get decent cell phone reception sometimes here on Earth.
It really highlights the incredible technological achievements that are going into making this project a reality.
Mm.
And remember, these are just some of the challenges. There are countless others they're working to overcome.
It makes you realize just how much work and collaboration goes into these missions. It's not just about building robots, it's about pushing the boundaries of what we know and what's possible.
That's a key point. These missions are truly collaborative efforts. They involve scientists and engineers from all over the world, all working together to achieve this common goal.
It's a global effort to unlock the secrets of these alien oceans. It's kind of inspiring to see what we can achieve when we work together towards a common purpose.
Absolutely. And this collaboration, it extends beyond just building and launching the missions. Analyzing the data these robots collect, that's also going to require a global network of scientists.
That's true. This data is going to be like a treasure trove of information, offering insights not just into these specific moons, but potentially into the origins of life itself. It's like piecing together a giant cosmic puzzle.
It really is. And each piece of data we collect brings us closer to understanding these fascinating worlds and their potential for harboring life.
You know, it's interesting to think about what kind of life we might find. Earlier, you mentioned extremophiles, those organisms that thrive in extreme conditions.
Right. They really offer a glimpse into the incredible adaptability of life. And if we do find life in these oceans, it's likely to be something equally as resilient, something that had adapted to survive in an environment that's completely alien to us.
So instead of little green men, we might be looking for microscopic organisms that can withstand freezing temperatures, crushing pressure, and total darkness.
Exactly. And finding even the simplest life forms in those conditions. I mean, that would be a monumental discovery. It would mean that life is not as limited as we once thought, that it can exist in places we once considered uninhabitable.
It would change our entire perspective on the universe.
Yeah.
And the potential for life beyond Earth.
It really would. It would raise profound questions about how life began, how it evolves, and whether or not we're truly alone in the cosmos.
It's mind-boggling to consider those implications. I mean, just think about it. We could be on the verge of discovering that life exists beyond our planet.
I mean, we are certainly living in an exciting time for space exploration with missions like JUICE-E, Europa Clipper, and Dragonfly. We're poised to make some remarkable discoveries in the coming years. It's a privilege to be a part of this era of exploration and discovery.
I agree. And it's not just about the scientific breakthroughs, it's about the inspiration. These missions capture the imagination and remind us of the boundless possibilities that exist.
They represent the very best of human ingenuity and our collective desire to explore the unknown. It's that spirit of curiosity and exploration that drives us forward, pushing us to ask bigger questions and seek answers beyond our own world.
It's almost like a relay race of exploration, with each generation passing the torch to the next, pushing further and further into the unknown.
I love that analogy. And these tiny swim robots, they, in a way, represent that passing of the torch. They're the next step in our quest to understand the universe and our place within it.
It's incredible to think that something so small could play such a pivotal role in our understanding of something so vast.
It is, isn't it? It really speaks to the power of innovation and the importance of thinking outside the box.
And you know, it's not just about looking outward, it's also about looking inward. These missions, with their focus on the potential for life beyond Earth, I think they make us reconsider what it means to be alive, to be human, to be a part of this incredible cosmic tapestry.
That's a beautiful way to put it. I mean, they really force us to confront the biggest questions about our existence and our place in the universe.
It really does make you step back and think about the bigger picture. It's kind of hard to wrap your head around, you know? Tiny robots, alien oceans, searching for, like, microscopic life.
Yeah, it's definitely not the classic image of space exploration that we're used to.
Right, like no astronauts planting flags or anything.
Nope. Instead, we've got these tiny, practically invisible explorers venturing into a place we can barely imagine.
It's pretty wild, but it's not just about the technology, is it? It feels like there's something deeper here, something about, like, human curiosity, you know?
Oh, absolutely. It's about that drive we have as humans to understand our place in the universe. Are we alone? What other kinds of life are out there? These are questions people have been asking for centuries.
And now with these incredible missions and advancements in technology, it feels like we're closer than ever to getting some answers.
It really is an exciting time for space exploration.
It is, and it's not just about, like, satisfying scientific curiosity either, right? There are some real-world benefits too.
You're right. The ripple effect of these technological advancements could be huge. Think about all the ways this research could impact other fields here on Earth.
Yeah, like with the robots' navigation systems. The same technology that guides them through a pitch-black alien ocean could be applied to, like, underwater exploration here. Mapping the ocean floor, inspecting underwater infrastructure, all sorts of things.
Exactly. And the communication systems, being able to send data through ice and water, that has applications in so many fields. Environmental monitoring, search and rescue, deep sea exploration.
It's amazing to think that exploring alien oceans could end up helping us manage our own planet's resources better.
It really is. And then there's another big benefit we haven't touched on yet, the inspiration factor.
Oh, yeah, that's huge. Seeing what's possible with these missions, it just makes you want to push the boundaries and think outside the box.
It's a powerful reminder that we're capable of incredible things when we put our minds to it. It's about overcoming challenges, coming up with innovative solutions, and working together to achieve something amazing.
It's a message that resonates with everyone, not just scientists and engineers.
Absolutely. It shows us that collaboration is key to success, no matter what field you're in.
So, to loop back to our listener for a second, why should they care about tiny robots exploring alien oceans? What's the takeaway here?
Well, for starters, it's about expanding our knowledge of the universe and where we fit in. But it's also about potential breakthroughs in science and technology, which could have a direct impact on life here on Earth.
It's about seeing what we can achieve when we dare to dream big and then work together to make those dreams a reality.
And who knows? Maybe those dreams will lead us to the ultimate discovery, proof of life beyond our planet.
Wow, what a thought. Finding alien life would change everything. It would be huge.
It would be a complete paradigm shift. We'd have to rethink our place in the cosmos, grapple with the fact that we're not alone. It would be a defining moment for humanity.
And it might not be that far off. As we continue to follow these missions and watch these little robots explore the unknown, it's important to keep that sense of wonder alive.
Definitely. Let's embrace the possibilities, stay curious, and keep pushing the boundaries of human knowledge and exploration.
That's what it's all about. The journey, the quest for knowledge, and that enduring human spirit that drives us to explore and discover new things. Thanks for joining us for another deep dive. We'll be back soon with more fascinating stories from the world of science and technology.